This is program 981. I'm going to try not to stop till I hit 1300. We're going to cover the middle of September 2015 for you in the sky mirror. And the big reminder is there was a full moon August 29th that was on Neptune. So all the Neptune stuff is going to get lunatic-like. I mean, I'm here, I haven't even seen this full moon yet. Maybe this sewage thing is going to get totally out of hand. I don't know. Hawaii is strange, you know, you can pump a lot of water into it and the soil kind of soaks it up like a sponge. But once the sponge gets full, and it's not that thick a sponge, woo, stuff happens. Anyway, September is a month of lunacy and exaggerated emotion about Neptune. And a little craziness, you know, certainly is attached to sewage. Once, when I was at OSHA, folks, the guys who worked in sewage wanted hazard pay, so they assigned me to go see if they had extra hazards. I went over all their health records of I don't know how many guys, 200 or 100, and for 20 years, they were healthier than everybody else who worked in the county. Sewage is not something to fear. It's just processed food. Anyway, enough of that. A lot of stuff going on for you as you go towards the end of September. Oh, we're looking at the last week in September, excuse me. Pluto stations, September 25th. Oh boy. And it's on the IC of lunation. We had August 22nd, a quarter moon. We had Pluto at the bottom, especially on Kauai, which made me leery that Kauai could have some Pluto problems. Sewage, bugs, I don't know, some form of home destruction. But it was only a quarter moon, and you know, sometimes these things are just portends for the next few months, though. We can stretch these out 3 months. This full moon on September 27th coming up for you is a very stormy moon. It has Neptune on the rising sign. Now, up till now, we've had Neptune on the IC. Let's see, where's my list? Here, I made a list. Neptune, rain and flooding, okay, because it just comes up again and again and again in the astrocartography. I went through the next year of full moons, new moons, quarters, and three quarters. And the first was the July full moons and a new moon, and they had Neptune on the IC, the bottom of the chart in your home. So you got water around your home you're not happy with, bad smells. Okay, more stuff comes up here in September. Here's a three-quarter moon. This one had Neptune at the top of the chart, public flooding in September, huh? Public stuff that can't get more serious than sewage on the beach and the beach is all closed. That's a serious matter. Here's Neptune on the midheaven again. You know, it's keeping people in their homes. Look out, there's sewage on there's brown water. Finally, here's on 9/27, here's a full moon where Neptune's on the rising sign. We all feel itchy and damp and soggy. Do we get sewage on us? We're all confused. Jupiter's on the descendant. There's thunder and rain. And it's that kind of time. Now there's a bunch more stuff comes up. We get signals in November, and in December a bunch of stuff happens. And if I had to bet on a real hurricane that has wind, I'm still betting at the end of the year, around Christmas time. Yeah, here's Uranus on the descendant and Pluto on the bottom. And it looks like it even goes by the Kona side. And there's some wind damage here. Yes. Anyway, back to September. You've got some interesting stuff happening here that kind of shout out you could be in the midst of a crisis here in the end of September where you are. And one would be volcano things on the 22nd of September. Mercury is retrograde squaring Pluto. It's hard to get around and communicate on the 24th. And, you know, I'm not sure what that means, but I don't like it too much. So there's a sense of, you know, thunder. Yeah, this Kona and Maui has strong, here's Neptune on the rising sign. wet, watery, confusing, not sure about stuff. A stormy full moon. Jupiter is tight over Hilo's side. Thunder. You know, gee, we had so much thunder, you know, around the 25th, 26th of August, just kind of mind-blowing. Anyway, I've tried to boil down a lot of this major stuff I had in the, you know, this got out of hand, and you can see why when we're having a hurricane warning and a hurricane thing about every week. And I'm trying to distinguish between the floods and the water damage. Between Neptune stuff is water, and it gets out of hand easily. Brown water, eek! When you're looking for real destruction, like that picture I showed you of Aniki, that's Uranus. That's wind damage. That's a real hurricane. You know, we had one small signal for that on the August 22nd quarter moon, and we're being scared by the media all the time. Here, eek, there's a Uranus on the descendant. Fear the hurricane. See, and you know, there's some more of that here. This is in December. Uranus on the descendant. Eek, a hurricane. But there is real destruction kind of stuff in the home here too. Towards the end of the year, late hurricane, perhaps so. But I got flooding stuff and hurricane stuff at the end of the year. Kind of solid on that. I got some stuff in November, but you're in the middle of a bunch of stuff now. Let's go through the sky mirror. But please remember that Neptune here had a full moon on it, and he's crazy right now. The pre-stardust doctors, the movie stars, the chemicals, things going bad, the mold everywhere. And Jupiter's opposing him. Ooh, what thunder. Here's the chart. The sun spends the next 5 days for you in Virgo, and then it goes into Libra. In the middle of your next week, it goes by the North Node, and everybody's feeling kind of nurtured, and, you know, that's kind of nice. But Jupiter's opposing Neptune tight. And here's Mercury. Mercury starts off your week when it stopped there at 16 degrees, opposing Uranus. You're just set up for wind damage to the wires outside your house, or the wires that come from here or there. I mean, yeah. The drop of a hat, you lose your power. Even you know, flooding can do that too. A lot of rain, because all the trees are in full bloom now, and they get real heavy when you put a lot of rain on them. I try to mark them out the most likely times when you're going to get the floods and the big rain, and you're starting right on one. If you're on the Thursday show, the moon's in Scorpio. Not too bad. Friday morning, you feel like getting your projects done. There's a sextile to the sun in Virgo, but you're going towards Saturn. Friday night, the moon goes by and hits Saturn here, and it squares Jupiter late that night. Overdoing it. No, here's gridlock. No, here's Neptune too. It isn't just Jupiter, it's a square to Neptune. Friday night. Don't drive through that. It only looks 6 inches deep, but if it's a foot, you know, it'll float your car. This is confusion, water, brown water. Yeah, and it's Friday night, Saturday morning, the 18th and 19th. Moon slips into Sagittarius Friday night, and that's when it gets more difficult. Right through Saturday morning, through 8 degrees of the mutable signs. So Neptune is acting up. There's going to be problems. Brown water. Ooh. Settles down a little bit here Saturday night. The moon's in the middle of Sag, and it makes a sextile to Venus, and it trine to Mercury, and kids are happy, and you know, people are thinking more happy thoughts. And here's Sunday morning. Here's a trine to Uranus. The brotherhood kicks in. Sunday, the moon's in Sagittarius all day. Feels pretty good. It squares the sun. You're not going to get a lot of stuff done, but Mars, the physical chores, the protectiveness, the heroes. This is very social. Here's Venus. Here's Mars. They're not that far apart, maybe 10, 12 hours. Between the lusty Venus, you know, or the sexy Venus, and the lusty Mars. Anyway, things can happen quickly here. And you looks like you recovered from this flooding, bad smell stuff pretty quick. I mean, we've had so much rain here, things are starting to smell moldy. Moldy as Neptune. Things just smell. So moon goes into Capricorn Monday on the 21st, and it's in harmony with Jupiter and Neptune. Well, looks all the flowers are blooming. So there's a good feeling here in the afternoon from a sextile to Neptune and a trine to Jupiter, and it'll be okay, huh? But look out, here's Mercury and square to Pluto, and Pluto is stopping on the 25th. Here's panic. What do you mean I can't communicate, I can't drive, I can't get around? Thought everything was okay, we were just singing our song going along Monday, and suddenly, there's a roadblock. Here's the policeman. They're going to be on trial again. Sorry to tell you. Look at that. Here's another interesting thing. On the 27th, that full moon is the perigee full moon. That's when the moon's very close into Earth. So it pulls larger tides. When you pull larger tides, earthquakes and volcanoes go off. And here's your volcano. Yep. So it's a time of some crisis as you go towards the very end, as you go towards that full moon, that perigee moon on the 27th. But you're going to feel a panickiness Monday night and difficulty communicating. And here in the morning is the square to Uranus. My electronics aren't working. Doggone it. So this could definitely be storm here. This could be shakings, the panicky feeling of things being temporary is the feeling. I mean, what happens on the TV and the internet, everything goes off. My goodness, what a shock. And so this is shocking time here, Monday night, Tuesday morning, okay, moon in Capricorn. You won't be out of it till the moon goes into Aquarius on Wednesday morning before lunch. And, here's a nice sextile to Saturn. Well, we got enough of everything. I got extra toilet paper and extra cans of beans and rice. And here's a sextile to the sun. Well, it's a trine to the sun. So men are getting organized. The father figures are out. We got a handle on this. It's shocking and difficult, but what do they say? Keep calm, carry on. That's a Virgo trait. Sun's in Virgo here. Sextile Saturn. Wednesday night, here's a nice trine to Mercury. Talking, walking is good. Communicating. Thursday, the moon's still in Aquarius. Makes a nice sextile to Uranus. In the evening, about dinner time, brotherhood, new information, enlightenment stuff is kicking. Zap, zap, zap. But there is a square to Venus. Opposition to Venus. Thursday night. The girls aren't happy. The sweet's spoiled. One can't get no rest. There's no peace Thursday night. There's high intellectual stuff Thursday afternoon, but Thursday night, no peace. Friday morning, the moon opposes Mars here about lunchtime, and everybody's ticked off and pissed, especially at Saturn. Now we got Mars squaring Saturn, okay, and that ain't easy. That's restricted military. This is when the young guy rages at the system and kills the judge and things, and so this is a time of when there's no restraints on Mars on anger. This is mean. This is a mean Friday morning. Okay, so you didn't get your sweets Thursday night. Don't get mean Friday. Don't be judgmental. Judge not. No. Walk in the moccasins for a month. Besides which, you got bigger troubles, because here's the flood thing going off. Here's the liquids. Here you lose things. Bad smells. Neptune's at work. He's having lunacy. You got lunatic drunks and people on drugs that doctors gave him. Look out. I wouldn't drive around on Friday night. Friday they're going to be angry. And Friday night everybody's probably drinking to try to get over their fit of road rage. This is lousy. And this is the flood time. No control until you get to Saturday around breakfast time, and then there's finally a sextile to Pluto, and then the police have control, and the emergency people are there. And woo, I can take care of this stuff. We will be saying. Moon in Pisces, not bad. It doesn't change too much. There's a nice I forgot, there's a trine to Saturn. When you're organized again and getting stuff done, and very late of Pisces, which is actually Sunday morning, the 27th. So here's your last chance to get organized. Yeah, the full moon is happening. There it is, on the 27th. It's happening in the afternoon of Sunday. And this is an eclipse at 4 Aries. And the perigee and all that stuff. And there's so many things happening here around the 27th, huh? I mean, it's enough that Pluto's stationed on the 25th. Ooh, without all the rest of this stuff going on. So, I'm not talking hurricanes, I'm talking storms and water and thunder and stuff, okay? We had that little hurricane warning, but I think it was just a quarter moon, and it just shows up on our TV screens every time you turn it on. Wow.